Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited to be bringing you episode 4 in my London Marathon training series. I feel like I'm trying to fix up the backgrounds a little bit, but I also feel like every time that I create these videos, my hair is slicked back and I'm in a sweatshirt and sweats because that's just the reality, but here we are. Last week when we met, I was sharing a lot about nutrition and just sort of the struggles, some of the struggles that I was sort of facing that I continue to face as a runner on my running journey, and I got a lot of positive feedback. Some of you guys DM'd me and just said thanks for sharing that that's still a reality for you. Some of you struggling with that at the moment or have in the past, and I always want to just be super honest about my journey, and I think that's why I wanted to share about the knee niggle and just not getting off on the right foot with marathon training, and now we're just sort of getting back on the right track, and I'm really enjoying that. So I think we're gonna just kind of dive into what this week has sort of looked like. I feel like with these sort of episodes with these videos, I feel like I kind of choose a random range of a week, but I try and include all of the workouts, and I just want to kind of share a little bit more about that. But specifically, again, I feel like I am focusing a lot on both the track session and long run session. I know that the other runs are obviously important, but I want to talk about as well tune-up races and the importance of that, as well as just sort of my pre-long run mentality. I did a video on this on TikTok and Instagram, and I feel like it was well received, so I want to chat about that. I also want to share some random recovery things that I feel like have been really helping, because as we ramp up mileage, doesn't mean that, the legs are going to respond any easier, and it's just your legs are going to be more sore, you're going to feel more pains and strains, but nothing that is an injury, obviously, because I always vouch for people not to run through injuries. Yeah, so I'm actually recording this on a Monday, aka I've not done my track session yet. I'll share what that track session will be, and then I'll share clips of it, but we'll kind of get into that. I want to start sort of with my Sunday long run session, which was just yesterday, because if you follow me on social media, it was such a good session, and I feel like a number of factors went into this. I feel like, for one, I went into last week being a lot more intentional with nutrition. I know that that was essentially sort of the theme of last week's video, and just sort of getting honest about the fact that my negative body image issues and everything was just kind of leading me to not fuel myself properly for runs. I feel like I'm gonna include some clips, but every single meal has been just intentionally, we've had rice with dinner every night, and we had more food, we have bread. The bread thing is quite funny, because if you follow me on social media, you'll know that April and I tend to get our bread from the Too Good To Go app, and we have a couple of bakeries around us that we tend to try and get our bread from, and yes, we can go and buy them just real time when they're open, full price. Guys, the thing is, the Too Good To Go app, you can get so much bread for 3 to 5 pounds, versus I used to pay £7 or £7.50 for the specific sourdough loaf that I really like from this one place. But I feel like now our bread really depends on this Too Good To Go app and whether or not we can get it. All right, we're about to go and pick up a Too Good To Go bag from Little Bread Peddler. Not much has changed from the weekend in my life vlog, where we just keep getting Too Good To Go bags from Little Bread Peddler, but they've changed locations, and we're just walking. But we literally picked one up yesterday, and we're getting a second one. Absolutely solid. Gonna freeze these 2 loaves. We're gonna have this now. Save these for tomorrow. My fingers are so oily, but ASMR. That's a separate story, but essentially, I feel like last week I really was so much more intentional about my food and just what I was eating, and I just kept reminding myself, my mindset was just this is about training. You are really starting to build in your mileage, you've got some big sessions this week, so let's fuel. And I feel like Sunday was just it really felt like the stars aligned. I say that, but I didn't hit marathon pace for the last set, so I feel like you're not always going to win, and it's not going to go perfectly, every single Sunday long run, and you're not going to hit pace every single time. That is such a real thing that I've shared took me a while to learn because I'm someone who used to get quite frustrated when I didn't hit paces during track sessions, but we have grown up and we are much more mature now. But I don't know, I just think that like everything, like I think I've really sort of switched up and got pretty specific about like what my pre-long run or race day meal is going to be. It used to be pizza, and I'm really sad to say that it's actually going to be rice now. And specifically before Sunday, we had chicken rice and broccoli, I think. Sounds so boring, I know, but like genuinely that's just like, I know my body and I know that that's gonna sit really well. And for me throughout the week, I just feel like we kind of like went off rice for a while, and then I started cooking it again with our meals, and I was like, I really missed rice. And so I feel like I am really enjoying rice right now. I'm really enjoying bread. It's just been really good, but I will kind of pause to go into a few clips from Sunday. Essentially, it was just a really good session, and I sort of like woke up that morning, waited out the rain because it was a little bit rainy the night before. I knew that I wanted to go to Battersea Park because the session specifically was 14 miles in total, 2-mile warm-up, and then 10 miles alternating between marathon pace for a mile and then steady pace for a mile. And steady pace, for those who don't know, is essentially anything that is 20 to 30 seconds slower than your marathon pace. So that for me, steady pace was like 8:10 to 8:20, and then my marathon pace is 7:40 to 7:50. And again, not to say that I was perfect and hit that for every single mile of the 10 miles, but like all together, I came away from this session feeling just really, really solid. I also included a Morton bar because I did the banana electrolytes. I did add coffee because I knew like we were gonna travel, it was gonna be a big session. I just wanted the extra energy really, and honestly, I might reincorporate it back into the pre-run routine for like long runs and race days because I missed it. We did have a Morton bar after that breakfast, so like an hour after I had that Morton bar on the tube, and then we got to Battersea, and then I kind of was able to like jump straight into my workout. That was about probably 30 minutes after I had my Morton bar. So again, this is gonna vary like depending on how your stomach sits with food, and for me, I really like the Morton bars because they're quite simple, but it's just like it just sits really easy on my stomach. And like, yes, I could incorporate oats with breakfast. I feel like we all know how that ended up at Chicago Marathon, but I kind of like the idea of like sort of staggering out food like in the lead up to a big run or race day. So really, I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm toying with the idea for like London Marathon essentially. And I really enjoyed sort of how that sat on my stomach. I only brought one gel again, but I really need to, I think, this weekend practice a gel every 25 to 30 minutes. I really kind of struggle, and the thing is, I am forcing myself to practice taking a gel whilst I am running marathon pace because that is what my coach wants me to do. I saw some people commenting and asking about that on my videos on social media.
3rd-mile marathon pace was 7:50. I'm still practicing taking gels, and I feel like it affects my stomach a lot.
That is like so key to ensure that your body gets used to taking in the gels ahead of race day, rather than like it just like making your body feel super weird or like it sits weird. I think that like practicing that whilst your body is like in a hard like part of the session is really good to kind of practice your ability to take it down and just make sure that you are having fuel every 25 to 30 minutes. So that's going to be the next aim. Now that we're sort of like getting onto the right routine of nutrition, I want to try and see if I can nail that in the head of like gels every 25 to 30 minutes. Other than that, Guys, I genuinely forgot how good Battersea Park is. I haven't run there in quite some time, and I think it's just so good because there's such big loops of a park to do really, and so flat, and I just find it really easy to like go in, do my warm-up, lock in, and just like completely zone everything out and focus on my session. So I love this session so much that I signed up for a 10K this Saturday. I don't know if it'll be a part of this video or the next week's vlog. I am really excited because my coach, the thing is, she said to me, in terms of tune-up races for London Marathon, which like is always something that you should do ahead of a big race, whether it's a half marathon, full marathon. Actually, it's just like checking in to see where you're at with progress and pacing and stuff like that. So essentially, she had said to me, if you want, you could sign up for a 10K in February, but like it's not super, like it doesn't have to be something that we sign up for, but she was like, it's more important that we sign up for a half marathon in March. We do have Victoria Park half in March this year, but this was super last minute. Actually 2 days before my birthday, so I'm like I'm gonna see if we can squeeze out one more PB for 27 before I turn 28. So I'm really excited, but I think it's gonna be good, and I'm not gonna put too much pressure on myself. I think I just want to go out and have fun. I have friends that are doing it, so it'll be great to see them, and yeah, we'll have to see how the day goes, but I'm really excited. And yeah, I feel like just overall I came away from that session feeling really positive. I had really positive self-talk throughout that session as well, which I think was really important, and I think overall I was just quite pleased with the session, and so came away very happy. Chugged a liter of water before coming home, and that runner's high just carried through the day. So all in all, it was such a solid day. Last week we had a couple of easy runs, so I did a 6-mile easy run on Thursday and then a 4-mile easy run on Friday, which is typically those are typically my 2 easy run days. We did add in an extra easy run day, which was on Saturday for February RIR Run Club, which was such a success. It was like the biggest turnout that we've had yet, which is so exciting. I had such a good time, and we just had such good people attend. Incredible brands we were able to host at Essex on Oxford Street, which was incredible. All right, that is the event done for February Run Club. All the guys and gals have left. Gabriel, the trusty photographer, but yeah, that was fun. So super grateful to Essex, and yeah, we had really incredible products like Vela Forte, Tenzing, and Fuel 10K. We were supposed to have Hip Hop, but I accidentally somehow got them to send it to the Essex location in Sheffield. So I'm hoping that the Essex Sheffield staff enjoy a lot of hip hop cans, because it did not come to the London location, but that's okay. It was just overall such a great day. I really enjoyed doing that once a month and getting to meet up with everyone. So I am always so grateful to people who make the time to just come and hang out. And it's not always that we get to like do this extravagant thing of like go and use space at Essex and like have a bag drop. I wish that was the case. Trust me, we typically just meet at a park, just like go about our run, and then we go and grab coffee and pastries afterwards. But this was such a treat. It was such a lovely day and just so much fun. Gabriel was there, and he was on the bike getting content, which is great because I'm super grateful for that. Yeah, it was just really great. And today we went to the gym. Didn't do too much strenuous stuff because, not gonna lie, definitely feeling it from yesterday. I have the track session tomorrow, which I believe is a 2-mile warm-up and then 8 by 800 meters. And I'm gonna just have a quick look at the session, but I am not feeling as, I think I went into last Tuesday's track session feeling a lot more nervous. I feel like I'm going into tomorrow's being like, it's okay, because the thing is I'm getting more confident in myself as a runner. The more that I have these really positive sessions where I can like come out being like, I gave that all I got. I have really positive self-talk. Like, I'm not like gonna be too hard on myself. And so I think that that's why like I read this yesterday and I was like, cool. So it's 2-mile easy warm up, and then actually 6 by 800 meters with a 200-meter jog recovery. And that pace is going to be aiming for about 6:45 to 6:50 minute per mile. 800 meters equates to 2 laps around the track, I believe. 200-meter recovery is like half a lap, so should be good. And then we'll do a 2-mile cool down, and that'll be the session tomorrow. I'll take some clips and input that here. Okay, today is meant to be 6 by 800 meters, and I'm just accepting that I'm not going to get pacing today, which is okay. We had a tough session on Sunday. I feel like I haven't really recovered, so it's okay. I can't feel my body. But yeah, we'll get it done. I feel like it's sessions like today that are so mixed up and like not, I guess like not all on the same pace. Like some are in pace, some are out of pace. I just want to give up. I still have 2 and I'll do them, but they're so hard today. Okay, all in all, I can't remember exact splits, but that last split was the last one was the worst one, which is okay. But at the same time, it doesn't mean it's not hard to try and not let that get me down. I'll put the splits on the screen, but it just wasn't my day. My legs definitely don't feel recovered from Sunday, which is okay.
Lesson learned.
And then yeah, the rest of the week is just gonna look like a couple more easy runs. We'll do a shakeout run ahead of the big day.
All right, that's the shakeout run done. It was just 3 miles. It was raining a little bit, and then we did 4 times 20 seconds of strides. And we won't run tomorrow. We're seeing the physio today, and then we will race on Saturday.
And then yeah, we do still have a Sunday long run, but I am very much looking forward to it. I am very excited. I think that it's going to be really interesting to see how I do at the 10K race. Again, not too much pressure, but I am hoping for a PB because the last 10K that I did was the Essex 10K last July. I got like 45:03 or something, like right on the 45-minute mark, and I was aiming for sub 45, but I did roll my ankle during the race, so wasn't a good time. But yeah, and then lastly, I said I just wanted to talk through some random recovery tools. By the way, these are all Gabriel's. These are actually his. I don't own these, but like I'm so glad that he does, because every time I go to my physio, he's like, you should use this, and he has all these things, and I'm like, Gabriel has them. So a couple of things here that I use just like rolling out my feet. This is something that I haven't really done before, but essentially you, like this for example, you can probably tell, you put it on the floor and your foot goes on top of it. You just sort of like use it to roll out your foot. This does very similar, but it just can kind of like get a little bit deeper rather than this. Obviously don't like try and balance on this because you might roll your ankle. Yeah, I really enjoy using these both just kind of to help like roll out my feet if I'm feeling sore at all. And then this behind me is 100% his, but Gabriel recently got the Theragun, and I never understood like why people were so into the Theragun, but like when I say that this thing has like single-handedly like gotten rid of so much like built up tension in my muscles and my legs so quickly, I'm just like, okay, I see why. Like I think that like this is definitely worth every penny, and like, you know, I could very well be looking to get one myself one day, because these things are so much more like impactful than the ones that I used to buy on Amazon. I know that these are a lot more expensive, so like obviously everyone's budget sort of like zone is going to be different. So if you can, I would highly recommend this, because this has definitely been super helpful, just like helping with a lot of like tension and soreness that I feel from like track intervals or like speed sessions or the gym. And so yeah, not gonna lie, Gabriel, I've definitely been using this a little bit too much, so I'm sorry I'm stealing this from you. And then yeah, I actually also have a physio appointment this Thursday to go and see my physio. We're gonna do some acupuncture because I feel like I am getting to the point of marathon training where mileage is building. Like I am starting to feel like a lot of soreness in some areas. And the thing that I've learned over like the past year or so with acupuncture is like it not only played a huge part in my like recovery from my injury, but it also really helped with the knee niggle. It really just helps alleviate a lot of tension, and my physio will put the acupuncture like needles right in the areas where I'm feeling sore. We just leave it in for a few minutes and then he takes them out, and like I can't tell you like how much that does for me throughout the week, and I just like feel like the impact of that in such a positive way, and it just really helps me feel so much better. So I am yeah, really looking forward to that. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for episode 4. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I really am enjoying making these and kind of just recapping my weeks and sharing sort of some of the wins and the losses and kind of like what we're doing to like redeem ourselves from some of like the lows. But I'm really enjoying kind of like just sharing also just like honestly and genuinely like how training is going, because I think with like short form content it's really easy to try and condense myself to like a minute and a half and just say like, yep, this was my Sunday long run and like that's it. But like I feel like there's so much more that I want to say, so I really enjoy making these videos. If you ever have any questions or things that you want me to cover in next week's episode, you can leave it in the comments below. I hope that you enjoy this episode. Make sure to look out for my birthday podcast episode, which will come out on Friday this week, the 23rd of February. It's going to be 28 things that I've learned by 28, because I'm turning 28 on the 26th. And I will not be running that day. I will be enjoying myself and just having a lovely day with Gabriel, but that is going to be the plan. But I hope that you enjoy that episode. I'm thinking I might release it as like a podcast YouTube video, hopefully, so I think that might come out before this one. But I hope regardless that you're enjoying the content, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!